back to 2,000 hours of banjo. That was Wagon Wheel. Hopefully you can tell I've been practicing that a bit over this past week. It sounds a little bit better. I was a little bit clumsy on some of the fretting on that second go around, but it is getting better. It's a marked improvement over how I've been doing, in my humble opinion. Anyway, so things have been going pretty well. As I've mentioned, I have been starting to dabble into music theory. I did find out what open G means. Open G means that I get a free chord. Just strumming the strings or picking the strings is in the chord of G for the key of G or scale of G. That's because the strings themselves, or the chord of G is G, B, D, and that's all the strings. You have the D string, the B string, the G string, D again, and then G again, an octave higher. So I learned that. That's pretty cool. I'm learning some other stuff, which is all pretty neat. I'm learning the pattern of the major scale, the whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And then the minor scale is whole, half, whole, half, whole. Pretty sure that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Anyway, so things are going pretty good. I am pushing forward. I've been focusing a lot on the Mike Heading's 12 ways to play backup, and he picks Wagon Wheel as the song that he's doing backup for. Just because of the variety, there's so much in those 10 different ways. I think I've worked my way up to number 5 now. So if we go through them, there's that's 4, and then the 5th one. The 5th one is for me pretty hard. So that goes. So that 5th way that I've been working, the 5th of the 10 different ways, that one, obviously I haven't put that much time into that one. That one is also a lot trickier than the other ones. But I'm really happy how 1 through 4 has been coming along, especially 4. 4 has actually made a huge leap in progress over the past week or so. I'm pretty happy with that. As far as what's the name of it? Man of Constant Sorrow. Still working on it. Nope. Oh man. All right, so that way today's been one of those practices where I just, for some reason, completely forget Man of Constant Sorrow. It's like earlier it was Will the Circle Be Unbroken. For some reason my brain just like deleted it and I felt like I had to relearn it. And now that is going on with Man of Constant Sorrow. So frustrating, but it's all part of the process. Even the frustration of having to relearn it means that I am going to get it down better the more times I have to remember it, hopefully. At least that's what I keep telling myself. All right, how's everything else going? I have been working on the speed drills for everything else. Go through all of it. That was, I would estimate that's probably around 140 beats per minute, maybe 145. Working up to 150. At 150, it totally falls apart, but less so than it did before. So I'm still making progress there. What else? Will the Circle Be Unbroken? I can't go as fast on that one as the other ones. I'm still going like 135 beats per minute is where I'm peaking out with Will the Circle Be Unbroken. This won't be at 135, at least I don't think so, but let me give it a go. So I have re-remembered that one, thankfully. But so it's good to have Will the Circle Be Unbroken back in my brain. I just have to get Man of Constant Sorrow back in there again. It just, for some reason, I think there's just a lot of repetitive parts, a lot of repetitive lines and measures that I just lose track if I'm not really, really focused. Speaking of that, of losing focus, my practices have been an hour and a half, and I actually don't know how productive that is, especially that last half hour, at least in this current stage of my learning. So I may bring it back down to an hour. I know that I really wanted to kind of catch up on how many hours I missed when I took that 3.5-month break. But I don't know if it's really benefiting me that much to add that extra half hour. Plus, I hate to say it, my index finger is getting a little sore at times. I do ice it and do the stretches, but it's getting a little achy again. So I'm gonna probably bring it back down to an hour for a while, see how that goes. And then later on, if everything's going good, I'll bring it back up to an hour and a half so I can try to catch up again. As far as the practices themselves, I think a lot of the progress that I've been getting, whether you agree with it or not, it feels like, to me, it feels like progress. A lot of the progress has just been restructuring how I'm doing my practice. Previously, I spent a lot of time at the beginning of the practice warming up and doing some bit of practice on a lot of the old material that I know. Boil Them Cabbage Down and Cripple Creek and all of those, and Cumberland Gap. But what I found out that I kind of get trapped in that. I want to perfect it. I'm not at the stage yet where I should be playing songs perfectly without mistakes. Obviously, I make mistakes quite a bit in my songs at this point. But I feel like I need to get it perfect. And then before I know it, 40 minutes have passed and all I've done is old material. So over the past 2 weeks, I've switched it and I front load my practices with the new material. Now I will warm up for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes with some of the old material, maybe even some of the new material, just really slow. And then after that, it's new material, new material, new material. And if at the end of my practice session, if all of a sudden I'm, an hour and 15 minutes in and I haven't done any of the old material yet, then that's fine. I don't really need to keep going over the old material a bunch. So just doing 15 minutes or 5 minutes or even, less, or even skipping practices on the old material is fine. I just want to focus, make sure I get that new material in. All right, so that's a bit more talking and less playing this time around. Thanks for tuning in. I've got some practice to do. I will see you in probably less than 10 hours this time, maybe back down to 7. All right, take it easy.